Hi, I'm Esther with Super Milk Mama, and today we are talking about good sugars versus bad sugars. The sugars that I choose to avoid for my family for our better health are white refined sugars, high fructose corn syrup, regular corn syrup, imitation sugars, imitation syrups, artificial sweeteners such as sucralose, which also known as Splenda, aspartame known as NutraSweet and Equal, and as I have recently researched, sugar alcohols, xylitol and erythritol. I use this to transition out of body ecology, but after doing the research these last couple of weeks, they are highly refined, and ethanol is added to xylitol in the processing. And I personally want to stay as close to nature in my food that I bring into my home, so I am avoiding these foods too. And why should we avoid these refined processed sugars? Because as a nation, the health of our country has declined and it is continuing to decline. I would like to share some statistics with you that I have found, and they're pretty recent. 1 in 110 children in our country have autism. 26 million people in the US have diabetes. 1.9 million people have diabetes over the age of 20. That's really young. And also 215,000 people younger than 20 have diabetes. And this is 2010 statistics. And they don't seem to be getting better. Also, it's affected in pregnancy, gestational diabetes. 2 to 10% of pregnancies have gestational diabetes. And that increases their chance of having type 1 or 2 diabetes by 35 to 60%. So that's just a really high number, and it's very concerning. It's really frightening, and I personally want to do the best for the health of my family and share it with all of you. So what happens to sugar in our bodies? Why can't we handle it? Well, our body is not meant to process that much sugar. We have on average 5 to 6 quarts of blood, and we can handle 1 teaspoon of sugar in our blood. What do people have for breakfast? A Danish, coffee with sugar, a frappuccino, donuts, Pop-Tarts, frosted cereal, sweet cereal. That's a lot of sugar. What about lunch? Maybe a sandwich, a 12-ounce Coke. A 12-ounce Coke has 10 teaspoons of sugar, and maybe some fruit too. What about dinner? A hamburger, a burrito, another Coke. What if you supersize it? That's more sugar. And maybe a dessert, that's a lot of sugar. What happens to the rest of the sugar? Our body stores it for energy. 3 ounces goes into the liver, 6 ounces goes into the muscles, and that's it. The rest cannot be processed. It will turn into saturated fat. It ends up in the blood vessels, clogging the arteries. And what is the #1 cause of death in the United States? It is cardiovascular disease, clogged up arteries. And what are people doing as a nation? Eating a lot of sugar. And after reviewing Gary Null's video, Overcoming Vascular Disease Naturally, he stated that by age 3, practically all American children will have their arteries lined with fatty deposits. This is the initial stage of arterial sclerosis. That is frightening. I have 2 small children. I do not want them to end up in these statistics, and I'm sure you don't either if you're a parent. So we need to make a change, and there are options out there. There are healthy options that we can choose. You might just have to take the extra step and make it yourself, or go to a health food store or order online. So the healthy options out there are: 1, a zero glycemic sweetener would be stevia. You can get a plant. I bought 3 stevia plants for just a few bucks, and now I have fresh, unprocessed, whole stevia leaves. Can sweeten my tea. You can also do green leaf stevia powder, or you can do an extract. Find an extract that does not have alcohol or has any chemicals added. So I like the sweet leaf stevia or body ecology stevia. It only has water, it doesn't have alcohol in it. A low glycemic sweetener that I really like is coconut nectar. It has much more minerals than agave, and it's a nice syrup. You can use it for pancakes too. You can use coconut sugar. You can use maple syrup, maple sugar, molasses, dehydrated cane juice that is unrefined and unbleached. This is really nice to bake with, and it gives a nice rich flavor. Tastes like sugar with vanilla and a little bit of molasses in it. And you could see it is brown. It's unrefined. You see the molasses in there. It's a beautiful color and it's a really good taste. So that's Rapadura by Rapunzel. There's also Sucanut. And you can also, I'm not sure if I already mentioned maple syrup. I think I did. You can use dates to sweeten your foods with. And there's you know, a lot of good alternatives out there. And yeah, you might have to make it yourself or, you know, do some extra research, but please read labels. Make sure that the ingredients are wholesome, natural, unprocessed, unrefined. It's just so important to take care of our bodies and to love our bodies and nurture them with good, wholesome foods. And I have felt a huge difference in my health switching over to these natural sweeteners, and still I use them in moderation. I use stevia on a regular basis, but even coconut nectar and the sucanut, I use it maybe once a week or every other week. So I try to have it in moderation. And I hope you really enjoyed this video, and please share it with other people that you care about and that are trying to improve their health, or maybe are suffering from health conditions or arterial sclerosis or cardiovascular disease, and they need some tools. So please share this with them, share this with people that you care about, and I hope you enjoyed it, and post your comments or questions below, and have a great day. Blessings and good health to you. Bye.